So look, check this out. I'm gonna tell y'all about the story of why you don't trust nobody. Family members, racing that, you got your mother, father, things of that nature that you gonna trust. But cousins and stuff like that, it comes to a point to blood ain't even blood no more. It's really scary of who you can trust. Okay, so tell you this story. I was working at a job and got there. This one guy, white guy, showed me how to do. Well, he really didn't show me. He was the lead, and I watched him do things. And then I was like, well, me, I'm always the type of person to show initiative because I like to move up in companies. I hate being just, I just hate saying, okay, this is good. I hate being comfortable at where I'm at. I feel like whenever you become comfortable where you're at in life, you die. Just my opinion. But anyway, so I learned from this guy, and cool dude. He showed me everything. He showed me how to change these machines out, do this and that. So later, the opportunity came for me to be a team lead, and I was easy picked because I had learned everything previous before they even thought about it. So I already knew everything to do. Well, I move up, and of course, I had some family members come to the door months later, maybe a year later, but it was later on down the line. And me myself, I always been a person that even if I am in a high position, I'll still get online and help my people, work with my people, whatever the situation may be. I'll do the job. It don't matter. And people always say, well, you ain't got to do that. Step back, let them do that. And I'm like, well, if you see them needing help, you don't just step back and watch. You got to put your hands in the cookie jar too. So the cousin come in, and I'm knowing he's on a temp crew, and they work 2 or 3 days, and then they finna lay him off. Well, as they send the people out the door, I tell my supervisor, hey, that's my cousin, man. He need a job, man. I know his situation. He got wife and kids, He need a job, man. Can you save him something? I said, matter of fact, put him right here on the line, right here, and we're gonna make up a job. And he was like, okay, fine, cool. That's your family. I would do that. So he done that. Got him a job. Everybody got him real cool. Everything was cool. We was all, relatable because I had a supervisor, but we had a manager over him that was about business and about not letting people get used and none of that. So everything we had a structure. So everything stayed in-house intact. So later on, I tell my cousin, well, it's another opportunity opening up for a team lead. Why don't you take it? It's like, nah, I don't want to do it. Man, the money, extra money to help your family, secure your job and all this and that. You're already cool, the supervisor, me. Let's do this. Okay. Finally, I talk him into it. He take it. Well, then, fast forward, everything's going fine. He might have he worked. He might not have been producing at the rate that I was producing, but he done his job. He tried his best. It started getting too comfortable when he started hanging around with the supervisor too much, but that's expected. It's cool. You become friends. Okay, so then we get another family member on, which is his brother. Same scenario. He come in, bust his butt, work his butt off. He really do. He really did. Get him team lead position. Take it back. Let me rewind. The brother came in before the company shut down. Okay, the company shut down, and they moved everyone to another company. That was close. It's out of state, but it's close. It was just a state over. It didn't take 20 minutes to get there. And but the thing that was crazy with me was I was the leading team lead. I brought the rates per hour up, I did everything by the book. And they came to me and said, we're gonna let you, and they picked a few other team leads. So we're gonna let y'all close the plant. Okay, I'm not thinking nothing about it. I'm like, okay, fine. Well, it's gonna take about 2 or 3 weeks. So he takes my cousin, the one that I got hired with him, supervisor now. He go ahead and goes to the new place. He takes my cousin I got hired with him to the new place. Okay, something ain't right about this. I'm the one that's been here with you. The one that know how to upstart some things. The one that actually produces. Why wouldn't you take me with you to go start this new line and all this at this new plant? It just didn't fare well with me. So, but I knew, I said, okay, well, cause he's big and all this and that, and this particular supervisor wants to be street and all this right here. So he's trying to keep a certain persona about himself, because you're going around people that you probably fired in the past, and I heard numerous people say, "Oh, I want to get a hold of him because his mouth." No, you know how it go. You supervisor people or lead or manager, people are always gonna hate you. You know how this stuff go, especially if you carry yourself wrong. Okay, so he takes him over. So another week go by. So we still at the old plant, getting ready to shut it down. And I tell the other team leaders, I said, I have a feeling that we won't have our position when we go over there. They're like, no, we'll have it. What reason wouldn't we? The 4 team leads left behind us, myself and 3 others, so happen to be everybody that does their job. And I said, I just feel it. I said, because we got a meeting today. When we go in this meeting, I'm gonna ask them a question, and we'll determine everything by the answer. And they're okay, fine. So we go in the meeting and say, will we have our positions when we get to the new plant? They say, well, we don't know. They'll tell you about it when you get there. Everybody looked at me with, you was right face. So when we walk out, I told everybody, I said, I told you something wasn't right about this from the first beginning. So we go over there, and I tell everybody, I said, don't wear your team lead shirts. Don't wear them, because we had team lead shirts marked. I said, don't wear them, because we're not going to be there when we get there. If we was, they would have gave us the answer. I said, trust me, we're not going to be that. It's a new plant. They already had some people established. He took who he wanted, and it's just how it is. So we get over there, and of course, 2 people wore their team lead shirt, and they told them, do not wear them back the next day. Y'all regular workers. So we working on the lines now. Half the people from the plant that we were their boss are working right beside us. I still ain't got no problem with that. I don't mind starting over, but the point is, why did I have to start over? I did my job like I was supposed to do. I was there from the beginning. Like, why is someone else chose on me? But I understand that they was trying to get this. Oh, there was like the rapper and the bodyguard situation. That's the type of scenario that the supervisor, and he took his buddy. He was supposed to be the security type situation. Okay, so I go over there. I talk to them like, dang, what happened? They acting like they don't know. Oh, I thought you was gonna have your position. Now this is my cousin now, so you over here with him for weeks. You know what's going on. You knew, so what's going on, but you playing dumb, because he says, this is how you test real men. He said something at one point in time. He said, the supervisor told, he said, as long as y'all stay under me, you'll be okay. And he was like, cool. My cousin was like, cool. I ain't going nowhere. And I was like, man, listen, I don't look to stand up under you. I'll work with you, but eventually one day I'm going to work beside you, or I want to move past you. That's just me. I said, real me. I said, as a real man, I don't believe in standing up under another man. I said, that's weird to me. That's telling me that you carrying my career. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. That's just in my DNA. So from that day forward, it was resistant towards me, because he knew I wasn't going to be a follower, and I had the potential to pass him up, because everything I was touching was turning gold. Okay, so back to the situation. So cuz acting like he don't know what's going on. So they tell me, oh, just wait. I get it back for you. I get it back for you. Took some months. I ended up getting my position back. You know. Then come to find out, they gave out raises. They gave out raises to leadership. So it takes me another 3 or 4 months before I got that. So not only did you take my cousin that wasn't on the same work level as I was, or there as long with you to start off with new endeavors, you also gave him a raise before me. It's fine. I'm not a hater. Cause get your money. Get your money. Cause I'm not thinking, you're gonna cross me like this, but I'm like, okay, you just weak minded. Okay, so it goes on. So like I said, after I told dude, eventually I'm gonna surpass you, things start going wrong. So I have a job opportunity to be a supervisor on the back docks. Okay, I take it. I'm thinking I'm taking it. Well, I had an interview, everything good. They're like, yo, we're gonna send you back there, we're gonna give it to you. The manager is going on vacation. When he get back, we'll let you know what you're getting paid and all that. It just sounded fishy to me because he was just there, and I'm in HR, and I know you all have the information. So, and I know how to, watching the plan, I know how they work. They try to get you to sign on something and take the job for less pay, and then say, well, you signed it to move there, and they won't, you know what I'm saying, and you won't get their money. Well, I'm going from a team lead to supervising the dock, so of course it should be a money increase, but they telling me they don't know. They don't know how much. Just go ahead and take the job. And I said, no, I'm not signing no paperwork. That's like going to court and signing paperwork without hearing what the hell you signing, or reading what you signing. You're giving your life away. So I said, nah, I'll wait till he get back. So of course when he got back, he was like, he didn't even want to give me the job no more, because now I wanted to proofread paperwork. I wanted to see how much I was getting paid. I was asking questions. Nothing wrong with asking questions. They started labeling me as a troublemaker. For what? I don't know. For being smart and asking questions. Same way NWA done Ice Cube is what was happening to me. Period. So then we go into this this spiral of just inconsistency. And I'm working on the line with the people. We pushing this out. So many things getting changed in and out. Do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. And I'm trying to help these people. They trying to write people up for crazy stuff, And the last straw was when the computers went down. So we started signing people in by hand. We did it for 2 weeks. We told them just come in, go straight to the line, we'll sign you in. Fine. Supervisor came up with that idea. 2 weeks later, we got the computers fixed, but they never told the people. So they were still coming in, going to the line. So they come and go to the line. So he gets mad because they didn't sign in and say, hey, go get them this write-up. And I said, wait a minute, what a write-up? He like, write-up for not signing in? I said, they don't know to sign in. We've been signing them in for 2 weeks. You never told them that we got it fixed, which today is the first day we had it fixed. I said, so how would they know to sign in? It don't matter, give it to them. Okay, well, if you know the rules of a write-up, the person always has the right to deny the write-up and speak to HR about it. The team lead or whoever provides their write-up has to supply them with their information. So as I take the write-up, and they all like, what the heck, what's going on? We only did what y'all said. I said, listen, if you do not agree with us, you have the right to not agree with it. I said, you also have the right to go speak to HR about it. So if you do not like this write-up, do not sign it. Ask to go speak to HR. You have that right. I have to explain that to them. I'm not tricking nobody into nothing. They got mad because of it. After that, they started making up things. And I went to HR literally 27 times for something that didn't involve me, of them trying to get me rolled up and demoted 27 times without a blemish on my record. And I told the HR lady then, I said, that's harassment. They harassing me. They trying to get me out of here because I won't stay in that circle. I'm for what's right. Forget all that other scheme and stuff. I'm for what's right. I feel like if you do what's right, everything gonna come full circle and come to you anyway. So why would I have to cut corners and scheme people and get people knocked off to get there? Okay, so I have a group of ladies, and they worked at a top level, which is top level. The staircase is see-through. You know, it's like it's metal, but it's the same pattern as a fence. You know, a metal fence. You know what I'm saying? Like this same like chicken wire pattern. Of course, it's metal. You know, it can hold them up. So those guys, those team leads. Now, by this time, we got another guy that's team lead, another black guy from my neighborhood. You know, we all team leads together. So I'm thinking everything cool, not knowing the whole time they've been plotting on me. So these ladies are at the top. They see them see the guys at the bottom huddled up in a circle, and the guys never saw the ladies. And I guess they were talking about getting me fired, demoted, and all this and that. So these ladies come up to me and say, "James, we need to talk to you." So they come to these older ladies too. So they ain't got no, you know, they not messy. You know, they've been around my family a long time. Know a lot of these women. You know, they don't have time to play. You know, a lot of them in church. And they say, "James, watch yourself." I said, "What's going on?" She said, "Your job is in jeopardy." She said, we just heard them guys. And she didn't shy away from her telling me or nothing. She said, "We just heard them guys talking, and they were standing up there, and they plotting to get you fired, and, you know, so they could spread out the money or, you know, get you out of here because you're not in their plan." I said, "Okay, fine." So I said, "I'm going to watch myself." I said, "But they really can't do nothing if I'm doing my job." Wrong. I was totally wrong, because the guy had a plant manager that was over entire plant, over all the plants in his pocket. You know, they was buddy, whatever. So I went to him to no avail. I went to the actual plant manager that was on the spot with information, and also so many people went there. Nothing happened. They talked to HR at the time where she was corrupt. She was stealing money. Nothing happened. And I'm only telling, I said, I'm only coming to y'all, not to be no snitch, but I'm coming to y'all because I've been in here 20-something times. And it comes a time where it's harassment. But I'm letting you all know, I'm doing absolutely nothing but my job. I'm going to the line working. I'm not talking. I'm only answering when I'm supposed to. You know, I'm doing everything by the book. There's no reason for me to be in these HR meetings all the time. So I say, it's the conflict that's going on in this net. You got one team lead sleeping around with employees on the job, and or taking them off on breaks, and they sleeping around this and that. You know, you got other ones that do his little thing. You know, you got one that's sexually harassing, you know, employees, and they coming up to me asking me stuff, you know, calling me the HR, and I'm defending at the time. And I feel like I let the women down because I didn't lie about it. I just didn't really speak too much on it. Which, if I know I was gonna get accused of it anyway, of getting a man fired for sexual harassment or boosting the situation up when I was on vacation, I would have just went ahead and went all in and just got him knocked out. You know, got him taken out of his job anyway if he was gonna accuse me for it. So we come up with a plan. So they say, "Okay, we're gonna go ahead and send you to the back docks to work." Then they come back to this job. Okay, well, at the time, my cousin's of a team leader I was telling you about, the crosser, he's working second shift because he started the second shift, you know, to get everything out. So okay, back in. So he comes back in 2 weeks, and I guess this might have to be a part two, because my phone cut off on me, so you might have to catch it. But I'll label it part one, part two. This won't be that long, you know. I'm about done with it. But anyway, he comes back from second shift, and I'm like, okay, I finna get ready to go, you know, to the back docks. Well, at the time, I'm on the line working. They was like, just stay out of the way for 2 weeks, no conflict. I ain't done nothing. I ain't been an HR. I ain't caused no problem. I was actually on the line, help working. And supervisor that I had this problem with come and say, "Hey, they want you in the conference room." Okay, cool. So I go to the conference room. These people not only did not move me, but they stripped me. They demoted me of my position. They took my pay, my money, dropped me down to beginner's pay. And then he sent me home for that day without pay for no reason. No reason at all. No. I said, why would you, you taking everything from me. I said, then on top of that, why would you send me home with no pay? And I did absolutely nothing. Because we don't want you to get upset and cause a problem, anything like that. I said, but you all sending me home for this. For something you done. So why am I being punished financially for it? Matter of fact, why did I get demoted when we had an agreement that I was going to run another department to get away from this conflict? When you know it's a lie. You told me yourself. He had no answers. He actually laughed in my face. So I said, okay. So they was expecting, so they was expecting for me to quit. I thought about it and I was like, nah, I ain't giving in. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black proud king. I'm not giving in. So I said, okay, well, I destroy it inside out. So fast forward months later, come to find out the HR woman, she's corrupt. She's gone. Things start getting investigated internally. I talked to a few people and we get a new HR director. She's from Alabama. She was a great lady. She didn't stay long because it was so corrupt, but she got what she needed accomplished. She came in. I think her name was Alicia. I can't remember last name. I wish I could because I can give her a shout out. But anyway, shout out to you if you ever see this. And thank you. She came in, immediately called me to HR for no reason. Just called me. She was like, hey, I've been looking at your file. So you've been to HR 20 sometimes without a write-up. Why is that? Then I explained it to her. She looked at all this paperwork. She was like, none of this paperwork makes sense. She threw it all, she shredded it all right then and there. She said, you have been getting harassed and no one has said anything. I said, I know, I've heard it all. I mean, from black jokes to, forced labor to underpaid to lied on or blamed for. I said, I've heard it all. I've been through it all. And she said, I'm gonna have a talk with somebody about this. She said, but this is gonna stop. Okay, fine. So that time, I'm waiting on the results, but it's gonna take a little while. She just knew she gotta go through the motions, so it's gonna take a few months. Well, in that time, I had already been looking for a new job, so I had an interview for that job, and I went to it. So I decided to take the job because it was close to my hometown. It was a new start for me. So the HR lady called me, she's like, what's going on? I said, listen, I just don't have time for that, getting sick, blood pressure, stress, heart, I already have, health problems. I don't want to, enhance it more. So I understand, but nothing to be held against you. You want to come back, you come back, no points will be taken, nothing. Trust me, this situation going to get handled, whether you're here or not. I'm still going to handle the situation because I don't like the way it unfolded. So I think about it. I never went back. The job that I went to was good for a time. It was unstructured as well. It was pretty much like working at the same place, but more freedom, so I didn't complain much, That's a whole nother story, but I went through that whole ordeal, and now I'm at a new job in an office, at another tire place, making double the money, I work my butt off. So anyway, that's a whole different story. I'll get into that another day. But to go back to what I say, so I ended up leaving the job. I didn't go back, as you know. And months later, long and behold, guess who gets fired? That supervisor. Okay, so my cousin had been the supervisor that was trying to get me, and the plant manager that he had in his pocket that was over all of them. They fired both of them. So my cousin that was under him, remember, it's crazy what they say. He told you as long as you under him, you okay. You're no longer under him because he's gone. But you thought because you was the second one there the longest because everybody else is gone that you was going to get the position. Well, think, snakes have more than one head. You cut one off, another and grow back. You didn't know the plant manager that was in the plant was a snake anyway. He really don't like black people. You never noticed that because you was too far up people's ass. So when you thought you was going to get the supervisor position, they turned you away. So then, now, he leaves the job because he don't get the position. They give it to the white boy that I trained to do the job correctly before I was shunned out of the group, you know, which is karma. And the white guy actually quit and left for like a whole year because he said he's going to do better things. He moved back in state, got the job, and then they gave him the position over the guy that's been there the longest. To show you karma's a bitch, people, you'll learn. Well, go on. We got this company coming in. I'm working for this new company. We had a company coming in, a paint place. And they had a manager there. He ended up leaving. And they asked for recommendations of a new guy. They had applications, and they was like, "Do you know this person? You know this person?" Well, the old supervisor guy name came up, and we was like, "Yeah, we know him." And they was like, "What you think about it?" I said, "Listen, me and him had our disagreements." I said, "But if you want the job done, he'll get the job done." I said, "Man, you might not like his methods." I said, "But he'll get your place up and running." I didn't hate. It's one thing I'll do. I don't take no food out of nobody's mouth, despite them giving me a pay cut, demoted, basically suspended for a day with no pay and taking money out of my pocket. I never take money out of another person's pocket. I don't do that. So, especially when they got families. The family is totally innocent in this whole situation. That's the way I look at stuff. I don't take shots at people's family. I don't try to punish people's families. People do me like that, but I don't do that back. That's just how it go. Well, he ended up getting the job, landing on his feet, doing great. I heard, getting plenty of money. And as for my cousin, the guys, the whole circle that was there, all of them are gone now. None of them are there anymore. All of them gone. It fell apart. But the cousin that was under him all the time, he went to another job. As soon as this guy got the position, the supervisor got the position at this new plant. They pulled him, he ran up under him again. It wasn't nothing new. That was expected. I just feel like me as a family member, if I'm watching somebody go after my family member on a daily, and I know it's a lie, everything could have been avoided by simply saying, "Hey man, I'm not gonna support you on this, man. You lying on them. You stop that, man. You going after my family. If you don't do that, man, I'm gonna have to go in there and tell them you lying." And then if it persists, I'm going to HR. Listen, this man, he's lying on them. That man ain't done nothing but his job. Just that simple right there could have kept everything around. Or when they pulled you in the HR with him, and he say, "Oh, ain't he doing this and that?" You will say, "Yeah," about me to please him. But you won't say, "James doing his job," to them with me there, because you don't want to unplease him, displease him. You don't want to help me because you secretly want my skills. You want my spot. So I'm out the way, you good. You want to make sure that if any other higher position open, you good. And plus, this man been putting stuff in your ear like I've been talking about you, and you just didn't know. Every time you walked away and moved, he was like, "Oh, he stink. He ain't take baths. He ain't do this and that." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, stay out my cousin, man." Or his house nasty, stay out my cousin. When I'm going off around the scene, he tell you I'm saying all this. That I'm bitter about your family. No, I ain't bitter about nothing. I'm with you every day. No, I've been there. I helped you get it. We got it together, And that's just how that shit is, And I made a post on Facebook one time. I said, I live beyond my means. His lady think that the post was about them. Had nothing to do with them. Nothing at all. Not a damn thing. And she say, She coming on, we do too. So of course, I blasted off, a little bit, but I ain't get too much into it. You know what I'm saying? He never brought it up until later on, like 6 months later. Yeah, he was like, I was gonna ask you about it, and she told me to ask you about it. And I was like, no, he's just going through some things. Why am I going through some things? The post wasn't about you, but since you made it about you, I guess it did reflect upon you. So oh well. But I let bygones be bygones and all this and that. Let things go. I see him every now and then. We speak. He'll talk like everything good, but you can look into a man's eyes and see his soul. And the only thing get done for me was let me know I was getting too comfortable around people. So now when I go to jobs or I work somewhere or I'm around anybody doing any kind of hustling, anything. And I ain't saying illegal hustling. I do legal hustling. I got my own photography business. I sell products, different products. I help friends out with food trucks and whatever, advertisement, whatever I got to do, flyers, whatever. I do it all, and I work a 9 to 5. But whenever I'm doing my hustle, I don't let nobody know my secrets, what I'm doing, who I'm in business with, none of that, because nobody's to be trusted. I didn't even know they had told the guy that I had got him fired for the sexual harassment thing. And I ain't, like I said, I didn't even know nothing about it, man. Dude roll up on me somewhere like, man, this messed up. You got me fired. I'm like, I ain't got you fired for what? What you talking about? So we pulled to a parking lot and talk about it. And I say, listen, man, they pulled him in the office and asked him about it. I didn't go to the office for you because it was on my day off. I came back the next day. They told me to go see what the girls were talking about because you got suspended. I said, so how could I get you fired? I went and asked around. They told me what went on. I went and told him. They called him in the office and he tell the people, if I got sisters, so if it would have happened to my sisters, I would fire them. And they fired you. Then they told you I did it. What power do a person that's been to HR 27 times that they won't even give a harassment charge to, or they let get demoted, what power do I have to get you fired, bro? Like, honestly, think about it. Come on. Who has the power to get you fired? When you become a liability, they cut your head off. That's the way of life. That's the way of the game. You became a liability. You know what I'm saying? You bring a conflict to the circle. You became a liability. So, anyway, it's so much I can go on with this situation, but that just goes to show you that just because they blood, close friends, whatever, you don't trust them. You gotta play your game smart. And even though I thought I was playing it as smart as I can get it by just doing my job, and you know what? I say I did. I played a perfect game. You don't always win because you play perfect. You can run a perfect race and you can still lose. You know what I mean? So that don't mean I lost the game. That don't mean I lost in life. They taught me a very valuable lesson. Just because you do everything by the book don't mean you're going to win. But that don't mean that I'm going to go to the other side either. I just keep on doing what I got to do by the book until I finally do win my race. The tortoise beat the hare. People got to remember that. So it is what it is. But I was just ramping, talking, man, blogging a little bit, letting y'all hear a little bit about that, though. But tell me if y'all got a scenario like that. If y'all do, holler back at me. Let me know how that went with your family or friends or anything like that. I got more to come, believe me. If you want to listen to me or keep up with me, subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm going to get back at you. Just leave a comment. Let me know what you got going on, and we'll speak on it or whatever. But if you've been through this, let us know. Get back at me.